Wassail! I wanted to begin by just saying thank you to Santaro, who surprised me with her post and led lots of you towards my channel. And thank you so much for all the really beautiful and kind messages you've all been sending. I am trying to reply to all of them, but sometimes YouTube's not telling me in my notifications that you sent messages. So I'm having to search through all of the messages and videos to see when things have been posted, and I'm sorry if I've missed you, but I will keep searching. But I do have a lot of videos, and some of you are watching quite old ones as well, which is lovely, and thank you. So I've come today to do a reading about I don't know what, other than this approach that we've got towards the solar eclipse in 2 weeks. It's a massive solar eclipse. It's a subject that I've been going on about for a long time. It's 80% across the Earth. And it's the point at which this emotional masculine energy is going to be replaced by divine masculine energy. And this will allow our divine feminine consciousness to enter into the Earth and to bring us into this Hierophantrix balance energy. So I'm going to ring my bell. There's something coming. Okay, I'm going to begin with the Mystical Shaman deck. Oh, it's the middle world. And this is the world in which we live, but it's like the energy of the cosmos has come in to hermetically seal the energies of the Earth temporarily as we're approaching this eclipse, because it's time for spirit, the crows, to begin to reorganize life, our existence. There are small traces of the moon and the sun within this card. There's new life growing within the Earth. There's new shoots coming up from the Earth, from the roots. The natural world is transforming around us. It's also a 3 and a 6, which is my favourite number. Well, 3 and 6 and 6 and 3. It's the Tesla trap magic code. So there's a frequency that we're caught in, and something is coming around to change that. So what is the divine 9 element that we're not seeing? Beautiful. Stand still. We need to stand still. We are. I mean, we've all been standing still for quite a while. We're in movement, but this card is really saying that there's some more standstill to come. Standing, okay. It's a gateway. This is a massive gateway. I was doing a series of readings on different gateways. The gates of Ishtar, Zababa, you can see the videos for those. But it's not the final gateway, but it's the final gateway in this particular moment before this huge energy flip. Everything's turning on its head. What was raw masculine became emotional masculine on the solar eclipse in December. And then that's been bringing up all these difficult emotions for people to deal with. But this is the point at which this solar eclipse is another standstill point. So There's something else coming though. There is. So I'm gonna switch to this cosmic deck. Cosmos. What have we got coming? Oh, I let that one fall. Sorry, I always get excited when I see that card. It's source energy. What's coming with this eclipse? Source. This is a really interesting source card though, because look, the energy is radiating down. There's a new frequency forming within source. It formed ages ago. It's been filtering down. It's inside the earth grid and it's got to radiate back out, which is what happens at this standstill point with the solar eclipse. But this is to do with creating this new inner truth that we're all going to be heading towards. Now, I'm not saying that we're all going to see this eclipse and have divine epiphanies. It's not, nothing ever works that quickly. But this is the beginning of the change. This is the moment of things moving forwards. 44 is the master number of the fourth dimension. And the fourth dimension for me is the place in which our ancestors reside, those that have passed over. Okay, they want me to say that although you have ancestors generations back who came down and they had incomplete karmic cycles that were left in the DNA and passed on to their children and their children's children and so on, the actual old ancestors are kind of like merely small trace elements of that energy. They've already moved on. They've been living other lives. Some of these ancestors are us. I did a reading a while back for someone who had a DNA trauma that needed fixing, but it was a DNA trauma that he'd come to fix that he'd started in another lifetime a long time ago in his DNA. So there's all kinds of very complex things at play. And we have 72, which is a divine 9, and this is sacred wisdom. This is tree of life, sacred geometry. This is the moon, the phase of the moon as we head towards this solar eclipse. Coming in with this solar eclipse source energy that will radiate inside the earth and back out again and create this moment of change. For those ready to walk that path, it's going to be a downloading time. It's very interesting because the way in which all the planets have been formed for this at the moment, it's almost like 3/4 of the cosmos is empty and all of the planets are clustered. All of the energy centers that feed into our body that I use in sound healing are all in 1/4 of the universe, or in our cosmos, in our solar system. And the only one that isn't, that's sitting all on its own, is Gaia, Uranus. So for those that are new to my channel, I like to call Uranus Gaia, because Gaia birthed Uranus and she was named Uranus by a load of men in historic terms. So the planet for me is a divine feminine energy. It's our consciousness. And then we have another 9. So we've got 44 and 99. Now, 99, this is actually card 54 and it's retreat, but 99 is the 9th dimension, and this is where a lot of the council, the ancient ones, the Elohim, all these kind of higher beings live. It's kind of the oversoul dimension. And they're bringing us, the card is retreat, but the card really the energy coming from it is Eden. it's like a paradise garden. It's full of butterflies and transformation and beautiful soft mountains. And that's really important, this image of the soft mountain, because the mountains, in terms of when we're reading cards, represent emotional and thought blockages that we've built up over time. And it's about this all being transformed and removed through a series of both downloads from the cosmos and uploads from the Earth grid. So, can we have some more information, please? Can we have some more information, please? I've got a real... there's a real tightening taking place around my throat. Like I can't speak. So this tightening around the throat is because Mercury is the closest to the sun, and it's going to be energizing Mercury, which is in retrograde, so that it's slowed down enough for truths to start to come out. The truth, the absolute truth, has to come now. So this card of the curse, which has often been looked at by me as DNA trauma, being silenced, voices not being heard, this energy used to always be a very pushing forward energy, but it's very recently started to be an energy of the hand coming in and pulling away the silences, so that we actually begin to open our hearts. And Venus, the higher heart chakra, where we love other people, is very, very close to Mercury, Venus, the moon and the earth, with the sun just above, and they're in a really tight cluster. So the key energy that we're going to be having through this is the need to voice truths, for truths to come out and to be heard. And that's the important part, to be heard, because most of the time our institutions, our governments are not listening. They're just throwing things into the long grass, or saying we'll have a report later about something, we're in the middle of a crisis. But the truth will out. This is the point of this eclipse. You're not going to be able to stop it. And it is quite comical when I watch the news occasionally, or when I come into contact with news. It all just seems laughable that they think we're that gullible anymore. We won't be at all after this eclipse, seriously. So I want to say 1446 is a number worth looking up. We have the serpent, and the serpent is shedding a skin to grow bigger. And the energy from this card today is about connecting our Kundalini energies, is the best way to describe it for people to understand. But Kundalini is not one energy, it's two. So it's our energy that comes from the earth grid that owns all of our molecules. All of our molecules are part of the earth. We're birthed in this planet. Our consciousness is from somewhere else. It's from within the cosmos. And it's that connection between the two meeting in the heart that creates this new forming, bringing the lower heart of the natural world and the higher heart together to create a new energy. And this card is about this, the energy of the cosmos, the energy of the earth coming together to create a kind of ease with which we can connect into the earth and shed, I want to say our skins, but what they're saying to me is that we're going to be shedding the lies, the falsehoods, the veils that they keep layering over us are going to go. So 1446 is this energy of truth coming forwards, and us all shedding the illusions as I said, it's not instant. There will be some people that get this first, and they will help others. By standing in your truth, you will draw people in, because when you're no longer in the frequency of fear, you become a desirable energy that people want to be around. And it's just kind of interesting that this pandemic is trying to stop us from connecting with each other, but you're not going to be able to stop it. You know, this is an energy where there are, you know, lies that have been hurting people are a far more dangerous virus that they're happy to continue with than, you know, more people have died through lies and through wars and through mistruths that have been told than have been dying from this particular virus. And please understand, my heart goes out to everybody who's lost anybody during this terrible time. But now is the time for us to wake up and ask, what do we do to change this in the future so that things like this cannot happen again? So let's have a little look at the cosmic deck again. Do you have any more, please? Do you have any more, please? Do you have any more? I can't do that many. So as that happened, I'm getting this idea, this energy of something exploding out. Something else is due. So we have Kundalini rising. 22 is the master number of the lower world. The lower world is personal demons. So by shedding the fears, shedding the lies, standing in truth, it allows us with this solar eclipse to actually begin to connect fully, properly into the world, so that we can be in balance with life, with each other, with the natural world, with the cosmos, with the energies. We can't stop this, but it is going to be a bumpy ride as we get there. And 6, this is the birth of creation, potential growth. As this balanced energy comes into us, we're birthing the cosmos, the earth, spirit, source is birthing something totally brand new. And there's a lot of divine numbering in this. So we have the Devas. I absolutely love this card. The Devas, 38, 11, a master number. 11 is the master number of the Earth's core, the crystalline grid. It's the beginning of everything in the frequency in which we live. The Devas are the elemental spirits that live in everything. They're the spirits that were once very prevalent in many cultures in Africa, in animalism, where you understood the divinity in everything. And this is what's coming back, the divinity in everything. To understand, these are also, they're the Aquafarian Elohim who reside within the natural world and within the earth grid. This is the energy, we're being given this wonderful ancient assistance. And I'm hearing this notion of uploads. Again, Kundalini rising is an upload energy. So if we can bring our molecules, our physical body, into the earth energy and settle into the natural world and praise the natural world and praise and show gratitude for all that we consume, then this energy can flow through and bring our divine feminine consciousness down and into our bodies. and into the earth grid. That's the important part. We've got to bring our consciousness into the earth so that our body and our consciousness are one with the earth. And then we have 23, lead the way, light your own path. This is to do with how we all have to find our own way through this. I mean, I'm sitting here offering notions of advice, but my advice, some of it will suit you and some of it won't. It's not important that you follow anything or everything anybody says, but that you find your own path, because we all came here with a purpose. We all have different journeys, and we all have to understand and learn from our own inherited DNA traumas that are kind of have been sucked into our body at this point, because this is the ending of the raw masculine age of Pisces now. And this is the moment when the age of Aquarius doesn't just anchor itself in properly, but actually begins to flow forwards with absolute joy. So, a little bit more from the shamanics. Oh, lots of cards. So, we have 22 again. 22, personal demons, the ghost dance. These are the personal demons that are now being fogged. They fit in with this curse card of not being able to speak the truth. These are the personal demons that were created by traumas in our DNA that were prodded and poked and became alive within our own lifetimes, that need to now be also, this energy of both these cards is being pulled away with blade. They're being cut away. This is what happened before. All of history no longer matters. We have to turn and move in a new direction so that we can make actual change. If you hang on to things, if you desire to not let go of things, you're trapping yourself in the ghost dance. The ghost dance has to end. You know, this is, you know, all these energies of history that keep being repeated and being pressed upon us and being used to silence us, they have to end. We can't pick and choose what parts of our history are worth keeping. History's gone. And I know so often we're told we should remember our history so that we can learn from history and not repeat the mistakes of history. But that's a lie. That's just another thing to silence us. We don't learn. We haven't learned. If we learn, then after the First World War and the Second World War, there would have been no more wars. And yet they carried on. So we can't pick and choose pieces of history to take forwards. We have to move forwards in a new energy. And we have to cut through it with the blade. We have to cut through. This is another 6. Cut through to create this new birthing, this beautiful cosmic egg that's being offered to us. And then we have 13, change. This is Crow. Crow, who was here at the very beginning, in that hermetically sealed world that we're currently in, waiting to come in. Crow is ugly truths. And we're needing to see those ugly truths, voice those ugly truths, and face them within ourselves and face them for each other, but not looking for any kind of retribution on anything. We have to let go. We really do have to release everything now as we light our own paths to move forwards. 4757, the Smoky Mirror, and the Time Master. The Smoky Mirror is about achieving balance. What I do love about this card is that there is a reflection of the Buddha in the water, but the waters are still choppy. They haven't smoothed out yet. And I do... Okay. There is a sense of placid seas coming. It's a message that they keep sending to me now and then, but they're doing it again. It's like after the eclipse, the natural world... I was going to say the natural world's going to be in control, but the natural world's actually already in control, because we're only behaving under the energies of the frequencies that exist coming out of the earth. So during the age of Pisces, we lived in raw masculine energy, and this was a warring energy, this was a battling energy, this was an aggressive energy, this was a selfish energy. And that was the age of Pisces. Now we're age of Aquarius. This is about coming together. Aquarius is about the collective. Aquarius is about being erudite, thinking about other people, creating something better for everybody. And yet, inside this smoky mirror, I don't know if it's seeable here, inside the Buddha is a drowning figure. And this is telling us that this is us. We've all been drowning in the falsehoods, in the lies, in the myths, in the things that we're told are real. So we're really dealing with clearing the world of illusions. Clearing the world of illusions. And the Time Master, hello Time Master, he is, or it is, I mean, you know, it's a masculine, feminine, balanced energy. The Time Master is Elohim energy, it's cosmic starseed energy, it's all of those things, but it's to do with, at the moment, because of the way all of the fractals have been moving throughout the planet, and the changes like a huge giant code, that it's almost like this moment in time is so perfectly formed that it's creating a tunnel through which many dimensions and many different realms are all able to focus their energy down on the earth to bring about this change. So can we have a message of what we're looking for after the eclipse? What's the energy once all these pieces are together? What's the energy coming out after, please? What's the energy coming out? What do we need to know as we move forwards? So, we have the celestial gatekeeper. Timing is critical. It's always been critical. It's always been about that moment of divine timing. This gateway that we're going to pass through is being watched over by this bird spirit. Bird is always associated with spirit because birds take to the air, they fly, they have that ability to move forward. I've never had this energy from this card before. There's an absolute sense of atoms, molecules, everything being re-frequenced at a core quantum DNA atomic level. It's like if I'm not a scientist, but say for instance something was made of a nucleus with certain electrons, positive and negative, that form a shape and they bounce around and they flash in and out of frequencies and dimensions. It's like those are going to be moved into new positions. It's literally the flow of energy that's going to go through all of us is changing. It's all being transformed and moved. And we're being asked to have critical judgment, to channel our knowledge. 8 is a number of abundance. So we've got 7 and 8. Channeling knowledge, they want me to kind of say, it's about connecting with our higher selves. Just hidden behind here is a guide, but the guide is your higher self. It's a massive energy, our higher self, that's trying to focus down. It's really trying to call upon us, and we need to reach out and ask our higher selves to descend towards us, and that's part of this divine feminine consciousness. It's to do with, again, I am often talking about this, but our ego, which keeps us functioning in this 3D world and is integral to us being here. And it's not about having an ego death. It's about, and it's not about, and they're saying suppressing the ego. It's not about that. It's about allowing your ego to just chill down and allow yourself to have critical judgment rather than ego judgment. So to have a judgment of not divine notions, it's almost like a sublime energy. Your higher self's massive. It lives in another dimension, and we need to start connecting with it. And where's this gateway leading us? What happens when we're given the chance to step through this gateway? We're being given the card 5 and 3, which is 8. So 8, it's rest. Oh, don't we all want rest? But the reason they're showing this is because this is dawn. This is a new day, a new life, a new energy. And it has dolphins. Dolphins are meant to be interdimensional beings from Sirius. And, oh, hello baby Sirius. My friend just had a baby called Sirius. Hello baby Sirius. So this energy of this new dawn is bringing, it's an energy of us all being in a frequency of self-love. The sacral's been blown open recently, and it's so that we can begin to take out all of the self-hatreds, the fears, the angers that we store up in our stomachs that are created through fear, so that we can move ourselves into an energy of self-love and start to fill our sacral with self-love. When the sacral is in tune with itself and with us, it allows the divine feminine consciousness to pass through the sacral instead of sitting there, through the root and into the earth, so that we can bring about this wonderful sense of balance. So, just to end, I'm going to take the Seers Tarot deck. Do we have a tail end message, please, for where we're heading with this solar eclipse, please? Crows here again. Do we have a final message, please? Do we have a final message? Do we have a final message, please? More crows. Do we have a final message? Do we have a final message? Thank you. So, I've got lots of them. Ooh. Oh, that's nice at the end. So it began with 7 of Swords, 8 of Cups. The crow here is nesting. It's about throwing everything up in the air. There's feathers flying around and creating a new nesting point, a new point in which we join into the earth. But to do that, we have to allow the energy of the past, all the things, we have to walk away from all those emotions. And I keep saying this, it's not going to happen overnight just because of this eclipse. The eclipse is the beginning of this new energy frequency. But we have to walk towards this new dawn, the dawn area again that we're heading towards. Turn your back. Look, both. This is a card of exiting things. There's also, you really get this sense that as we exit, this is almost like pollution. We've got to, that's part of the changes that we have to make now. And Crow's really, spirit is really screaming for us to engage with the natural world. And we can't keep choking the natural world. You know, there's so many people in the world who die of pollution, who die early because of pollution. And we're in this pandemic, and yet there's so many other things killing people all the time. And we shouldn't be doing it anymore. So walking away and exiting the old world. And then there's change coming. Change is coming. And crows are here again. Spirit is coming to bring about change and untangle us from the bad thoughts. That returns to that card of curse and the ghost dance, which is just down here. Oh, particularly as the ghost dance is 22, the lower master number, and this is 2 and 2. So we've really got this energy of the importance of lower world demons and fears being removed. 22 and 22, of course, makes 44, the source energy. There's all these master numbers, there's all these codes being created now to make these fractal changes. What's coming? I don't want to say this. Another tower moment. Because we haven't had enough of them. But this is a beautiful tower moment. This is a tower moment in the natural world, a tower of transformation. And Squirrel is looking up at spirit descending into the earth. And there's these wonderful magical acorns, there's butterflies transforming all over it. This is the earth wanting to recreate old energies, but in a new form. So the point that he's trying to make is that these energies of divine feminine energy in the earth, because eventually this divine masculine earth energy will be supplanted by the divine feminine. This is their natural cycles, they happen all the time. All of these traumas that I talked about, the pollution, the wars and everything, they had to happen. They're part of the energy frequency that ruled the cycle. And they're not right and they're not wrong, they just were. Everything just was, because that's the energy fractals, that's the shape of the frequencies that feeds our spirits and our bodies when we're in these lives, and that's what took place. But we're going to be given a chance to move with this moon into a new emotional language, to resurface from all of this. And my throat's doing this again, but from a life that's just been choking everybody. We have to move forwards now. And the final card, really very beautifully, is the World, which is card 21, and this solar eclipse is on the 21st. It's also very interesting because 2020 is judgment in the tarot deck, 20 being the judgment card. And at the beginning, the energy was really this sense of we were all in a phase of judging ourselves and judging life and judging all kinds of things, and that is true. But the truth of 2020 is to pass through those judgments and to become without judgment, to not judge, to actually just flow. And then next year will be 2021. And this is the World card, the completion of a massive, huge karmic cycle in which we all come together in bliss. And around her is an Uberus snake, and it's biting its own tail, and when it does this, it's reached its point, and then it swallows itself, and then it births a new version. So life is moving forwards and changing. So, wassail, have a lovely time. Bye.